while he's doing that, I was going to ask you a question, Kevin.
Yeah, what do we got there?
Did you set up the Cal Night and Cal Day modes in our TVs?
Well, we were going to get to that, but now that you asked, we tried. And
Okay.
we had to go back and revert to movie mode because we had an issue. What?
On
On the UN. Dwayne, go ahead and explain it because you did the job.
Hey Dwayne, could you stand up and speak up
Yeah,
loud?
absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
With the UN Samsung, what we found in the calibrated modes, or Cal Day and Night, is on charts, it looked excellent. When we put in like MI4, it was completely like, I don't know,
Wacky doodles.
yeah, wacky doodle, I guess.
Let's get a
The
little
gamma,
more technical
yeah,
than wacky
there were
Really?
gamma shifts all over the place, color decoding errors all over the place. I mean, it did not look like a colored image. It looked like the inverse, basically.
It's like clipped highlights, really bad threshold.
Yeah, it was really kind of odd, Mike, because all the numbers, gamma, plasma, pancake, grayscale, color,
Right.
gamut, all of it looked great by the numbers.
Right.
But then we came out of it, watched material, and went, "What's going on?"
Right.
Right.
Then we went.
Okay.
Then we went into movie mode and did the same job essentially, and everything looked fine with the same material.
Right, and the funny thing is with movie mode, once you calibrate movie mode, Cal Day and Night starts to function properly. So
Okay.
it's
a good one.
it's a glitch somewhere.
So what do you do first?
I mean, I typically recommend doing the movie mode first anyway, just because it does kind of copy over to the other two.
Okay.
But it
I'm-
shouldn't be.
I'm a huge fan of the Cal Day and Night modes in the 2011 product line. I do it all the time. It works
Yeah.
fine. I
Right.
haven't had any issues with it at all. Have you?
Yeah. No.
So,
No, now I do know that with this year models, you can't really copy over the 10-point from movie to the Cal
Right.
Night and Day because they're not unique.
Right.
Whereas with the 11s
Which
and
is a
below,
good thing.
yeah, which is a good thing, especially for 3D.
Right.
It needs it.
That's a
but,
real thing.
but with the 2012, you can't really copy it over.
Right.
But it was just really interesting that once we actually did 10-point
Right.
in movie mode and the full-blown calibration, as soon as we switched back over to Cal Night, which is what we were using, all those problems went away. It was identical to movie mode.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But you said it was only with the LED, not with the plasma.
Not with the, well, we didn't try it on the
Try it,
plasma.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
the plasma got calibrated in movie mode just
Yeah.
because you had a pretty immense amount of work to do. You really had the time to
Right.
go dig in and see if we could figure that one out. But
Sure. Sure.
We will, obviously. I mean, I'll give you feedback as we
Well, that
move
yeah, it
forward.
sounds like something they can fix in firmware.
Sounds like a bug.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just for clarification, that's limited to the LED model, the ES8000. There's no issue at all.
For
We don't know.
We
We
don't
don't
know.
know.
We
about the
don't know
plasma.
that.
We didn't have
That's
a
what
try.
we were
Sorry.
just telling
Thank you.
We didn't attempt it because we didn't have the time to delve into
Okay,
it.
very good, thank you, I'm sorry.
One other thing related to what you asked before, Wayne, tell me that when you go back into the service to lock the Cal Day or Night mode, it wipes everything out.
Yes, that was a bug with the 2011. We didn't have time to try it on this because we didn't have time to write down the settings, just in case it did wipe them out.
Right.
But yeah,
Curious if that's fixed then.
exactly.
That's the first I've actually heard of that happening on the 2011.
Oh, really?
So,
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
in 2011s it actually wipes out both the 10-point grayscale and the CMS controls. The 2010s only wiped out the CMS controls. So it's been in the family of the product for a couple of years now. And it's
Gotcha.
just moving up and progressing.
So it's getting worse?
We don't know.
We haven't
We-
tested this year's yet.
Well, we tried not to touch it this year because maybe it would have shut the entire panel down.
We'll have to. Obviously,
We'll get
it's
that.
something we'll have to test. We've come out with this thing that's called Smart Evolution, and essentially what it is we're giving people a bridge to the future. So you can buy a 2012 TV, and under a sticker that's on the back, there's this little port on the back that allows you to buy a Smart Evolution kit that will become available next year that will upgrade not only the software but the hardware in the TV as well to make it on a level equal to a 2013 TV. And we'll do that for 4 rolling years. So the 2012 TV will support with a kit every year until 2016. In 2013, obviously, it will roll to 2016. So yes.
I don't know, how could that even be possible because of other technology changes that are taking place? Yes, you can make certain tweaks But
Yeah.
how can you change, for example, if the panel is set a particular way, if other things are set a
So,
particular way?
you have a fixed pixel panel, yes? You can't change that.
Yeah.
But what you can change is the video processing. You can add more features to the TV because of it. You can actually make the picture look smoother because you put a better video processor.
That's
Next
all
year.
software. That's
It's
not
all-
hardware.
yeah.
Well,
not-
still
That's
not.
hardware and software.
There's hardware
And-
advances year to year, though, that you can't
Yeah.
fix in firmware. There's a-
You're right. So yeah, there are hardware changes that you, or the things that happen that you can't fix in firmware, that you have to have hardware to go along with it. And that's what this is providing you, is the ability to buy the hardware without having to buy a whole new panel.
Isn't that like a whole motherboard?
Essentially, that's pretty much what you're buying, is a whole new motherboard for the TV.
Do you have an external port?
About yay big?
Yeah.
Couple mil thick?
Not so much the
Snaps on the
hardware, the
back?
motherboard, but the device itself.
Yeah.
There's advancements you will make year to year that you can't.
So you're gonna the kit will
Yeah.
probably because we haven't seen it because it's not going to exist until next year. Probably have a new processor in it. So instead of a dual core processor, it may have a quad core processor in it. So it may have a better video processor in it. It will have more memory almost certainly in it, and so that will allow you to take your 2012 TV and soup it up, if you will, to 2013 levels. Yes.
Two questions. One, who does the installation of this kit?
It literally snaps on the back. So if you can take off the battery cover of a child's toy, you can put this on the back of your TV.
Okay. The second question is, a moment ago you said that the popularity of plasma televisions has gone down.
Yes.
Now everything is LCD, LED. Is that from Samsung's point of view?
No, that's market. I mean, you
Market.
look at the market figures. NPD data is basically where I'm getting that numbers from. We're number one in LED, we're number one in 3D, we're number one in plasma. We've been number one for about a year and a half in plasma. But the plasma pool as a whole is shrinking, and there's nobody that's going to dispute that because that's the raw numbers, and it's
And
not
why
just
is
from
that-
Samsung.
Why is that shrinking?
Well, most people, and apart from this room, I train a whole bunch of people, a lot of different people, and there's a stigma associated with plasma that's, I think, unjust. But you still get the people out there that says, "When am I going to have to recharge it?" What?
Gas leakage.
Yeah, gas leakage. Right. You get burn-in. All of those issues you always get. People come in thinking they want an LED because LED lighting is the newest thing, right? You're going past incandescent, past CCFL, to now going to LED lighting. So that's the newest technology. That must be what I need in a TV. Customers come into the store thinking they want an LED. Many salespeople aren't good enough to ask enough questions to find if indeed a plasma is a better choice for them, and then help them make that choice. So we're fighting those battles every day, but for plasma right now, it's a losing proposition.
Do you think
Thank
that
you.
that might be helped by national marketing and showing each type of TV as just an option?
Well, it all comes down to massive education, and that's a big part of it, and that's something that we're here for. Part of spreading the gospel about plasma is doing this very event, and helping those people out there that are undecided if they want an LED or plasma, help make the right choice. And for some people, that choice may be LED. LED may be the right choice for some people. It is the right choice for some people. For the videophiles in here that care about ultimate video quality, like me, we all know where we're going. For the most part. I'm speaking in generalities here, because with due deference to our friends from Elite. Because I do believe that they make a great panel. But you get the idea of what I'm talking about, right? So, getting on smart evolution, yeah.
One thing that might be important, some people think the plasma is going to die out. Now, can you tell me how much profit Samsung made in plasma and how much profit or loss they made in liquid crystals?
No idea.
I can tell you. But,
Okay.
Well, please do.
Let me say that the loss in liquid crystals last year was rather significant.
Uh-huh.
The profit in plasma was also significant. It didn't completely wipe out the liquid crystal loss, but it
Mhm.
wiped out half of it. So, you know,
Okay.
it's even though plasma is a small percentage, 10% or whatever, it's still something that, because it's a lower cost technology in general to manufacture, the profit margin can be a little better. Except
Right.
if you're Panasonic or Sony or something. I mean, you've got that yen, the
Yeah.
strong yen is just killing those guys.
And technology marches on.
Yeah.
Innovation marches on. If you do not innovate, you die.
Right.
As some of our competitors are finding that aren't doing so well, and they're losing enormous market share to the two Korean companies, Samsung and LG. And we're literally, like I said, pouring billions of dollars into research and development to get to that next level. So even LCD as a technology has seen its days. If you do any research online, you'll find that Samsung spun off its display division to Samsung Display, which is now the world's largest LCD manufacturer. But you'll see more and more emphasis going towards new technologies like OLED.
It's interesting that besides plasma, OLED is the only other emissive technology we're talking about.
Right.
So everything kind of filling the gap over the last several years with LCD and LED.
Well,
And there is things on here I'd also like to see, like viewing angle, but the emissive displays, by far, plasma and soon OLED, certainly win those battles hands down.
Yes, they do. But obviously, OLED, or even the LED LCD TVs, they have their own feature set and their own advantages too that can't be downplayed. I mean, there are everybody that doesn't buy a plasma isn't necessarily making a mistake. So I understand in this room that's not a a statement that many people agree with, but it is the case in many areas that just because they're buying an LCD or an LED panel doesn't mean they're making a mistake. Maybe they want something that is a lot less power hungry than a plasma is. Even though plasma has gotten so much better than it was, it seems like they have the power consumption every year compared to what it was. LED is still better. LED is still brighter. And so there are several advantages. Plus, LED is a lot thinner. Even as thin as plasmas are now, LED is still way thinner. So there are some advantages to LED as well. So
I'll just
Yeah.
I mean, it's, as a general statement, it's probably true for the most part, but not model to model. I mean, I can tell you one of the latest LEDs, and I won't say if it's yours or whoever's, again, it's a larger plasma in our professional side, in our shootouts. We were about 30-40% lower power with the same brightness with the advancements of our pro plasmas.
okay,
So it's not really a general statement you can even make anymore so much. It really goes model to model what you're putting up against
right.
it.
And so we have even Samsung this year has a model of a certain plasma TV that uses about 80 watts of power. So there are some, even in that particular area, there's certain models that are very energy efficient. But by and large, LEDs are usually quite a bit more energy, or they're much more energy saving than plasma. Yeah, question.
Mine's on the sales side. How is UPP pricing affected anything?
Actually, and I deal with that every day because I work a lot with integrators, but I also work a lot with the mass marketers as well. For everybody so far, it's been very, very positive. For the integrators, there's been some pain because there's one extra step of approval process they have to go through to get it, and we seem to be somewhat behind on that for some reason. But as far as I know, and speaking anecdotal evidence is many of the mass marketers their systems do not allow them to enter a price lower than the UPP price for many of the products. So imagine that there's actually some ability to earn some money in video again. So everybody seems to be playing along nicely so far, and we hope that remains the case.
I'll add to that, if I may, as a retailer. We're authorized Samsung, of course. And I love UPP pricing, and I'm happy to have it. But I just wanted to add to that, and I'm not complaining whatsoever, because I like it a lot. It has a very, very tiny margin for the dealer, which is absolutely not a complaint, because that's a lot better than negative, which is what most brands are. So I embrace it. It's fair. It's a very low margin. The prices of Samsung premium products are still way below most others, and it's a value. It's a great value, and it's fair and square. It eliminates a lot of the road crooks out there, and it really cleans things up.
Well, not even Amazon can undercut you, right?
That's right. Not even Amazon.
So far, we're seeing many positives. Does that mean that the road will stay as rosy for here into eternity? Who knows? I mean, I wish I had that crystal ball and I could see it in the future.
And UPP is not list price. It's a deep, nice discount. There's a lot of factory promotions coming along the way that have already come and continue to come. So it's fairly priced. It's got a small markup, but a respectable one for the retailer. There's a lot of factory promotions, and I think it's positioned very well. Cleans up the, you can buy from the retailer that you want to buy from with no other level playing field and all other features.
So that's, as a former sales trainer, it's something that I always try and harp on the people whenever I stand in front of them is you need to have those 3 or 4 things as to why the customer needs to buy it from you. What do you bring to the table rather than just price? So there actually is salesmanship having to go on again in order to get the business, which I think is great. Something that hasn't happened in a little while.
Keeps Amazon from closing up the small retailers too.
It really does. It does.
You know?
And I tell you, as I always say every year, without the small retailers, it's very difficult to sell the higher-end products at any retail store with any name. So if it's not for us beating the bushes and creating a market for a higher-end product, it would be tough. We're the showroom for a lot of these places, and we explain and work hard, and I'm not complaining about that either. But it's nice to see UPP that even the playing field, so that we can add more value to the sale for the customer and be competitive.
And to be fair, we're not the only ones that are doing something like this. You'll
Sony
see
does
it from
it.
other manufacturers as well. We're certainly one of the leaders in that particular area as well. All right. Any other questions? All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, buddy.